All right, Coach. Obviously not the outcome that you guys wanted on Friday night. I guess just kind of talk about the game and where y'all are at right now.
Yeah, like what you said. I mean, obviously we were hoping for a different outcome, and played good in spurts and did some really good things. Just didn't turn out the way that we wanted it to. Eastlake is a good team. They're 9-1 going into the game and 10-1 now, and so they got a good football team. But I felt like we traveled well. I thought we went over there and our kids were focused and played a pretty good game overall. We did some good things. Obviously, some of the things that plagued us all year plagued us in that game as well. I mean, our first drive, we get down into the red zone and score a touchdown, get it called back by a penalty because our receiver wasn't lined up on the line of scrimmage, and then 2 plays later we fumble. And it was stuff like that, kind of all year that really hurt us. It's just hard to overcome that. And, I felt like we did overcome it in that game. I felt like we played pretty good, gave ourselves a chance to win, and then just, right there at the end, we just weren't able to hold on to it. So, but I was proud of the way our kids played, proud of the way that they fought, and, just overall proud to be the coach here at Central, and proud to have been able to spend the year with those guys.
I guess what I meant by also, where you're at now. I mean, I guess reflecting back in your first season as a head coach. I mean, what is your experience, or have you had a lot of time to reflect?
Yeah, a little bit of time. Obviously, it was a long bus ride home, so you think about a lot of things, as you're coming home when your season's over. But I'm appreciative of our team, appreciative of our group of seniors. They were a good group, a fun group to work with and to coach. They did a lot of good things, and I thanked them this morning in a senior meeting, and thanked them for their 6 years of hard work that they've poured into the Central Bobcat football program. From the time they're in middle school all the way through their high school career. They go through a lot, and I thanked them for that this morning. Obviously, like we said earlier, it wasn't the outcome that we wanted, but they got a lot of things to be proud of. They got, and I told them this morning, I hope that things that they learned in our program they can carry with them the rest of their life, and hopefully that they go on to be productive citizens and good husbands, good fathers. That's really the big picture of this whole thing, what we're trying to do. And so I have no doubt that those guys will go on to bigger and better things. So just thankful to be a part of it.
Coach, are there any particular seniors, not just this year, that have come up with the program for all those years that you're particularly proud of? Where they started and where they ended up?
Yeah, you're talking about this year's group? Yeah. You are always you're always surprised by a few. There's some kids that maybe start in junior high on the blue team or the B team, and same as a freshman and maybe even the JV blue, then they end up contributing as a senior. And there's several examples of that, and some of our best kids have done that, throughout the years, where they maybe they weren't fully mature, or they hadn't come into their own up until their senior year, and that happens a lot. So a lot of times our message is to just stick with it. We talk to them a lot about just sticking with it, and do things right. And a lot of times kids that maybe didn't play a whole lot as freshmen or sophomores, or juniors even, they end up helping your football team out, And so one that comes to mind, Jaden Lamone played all 11 games as our wheel linebacker. He's one example, and there's others. Brock Miller, Caleb Russell. Some of those guys are overachievers. And that's kind of what it's all about, man. I love those kids that overachieve and kind of do more than what maybe your expectations are, and I love those types of kids, and we have more of them. Those are just a few that pop into my mind right off the bat.
Coach, there was a play late in the fourth quarter, the final drive, there, where it looked like a pass interference, smelled like a pass interference. I mean, everything was on that. Can you tell us about that play? You know, certainly the message to Jacob and Tyler after the game.
Yeah. Yeah, I tend to agree with you on that. I mean, there's a really good picture that LaRae Russell got of the play right before the ball was coming down, and it certainly, it looked like the defender was kind of draped all over Jacob, but we were trying to push the ball down the field that last drive. We were out of timeouts, and we're trying to push the ball down the field. They really weren't in a prevent defense. They had a couple high safeties, but we'd kind of shown all game that we were able to get behind them by a step or two. And that particular play was a post to Jacob, and he got behind the defensive back, and Tyler made a pretty good throw, and it looked like it could have been easily called pass interference, but obviously it wasn't, and you kind of got to live with it. But I thought that they tried right there at the end. They tried everything that they could to make that happen. And Jacob was, that was the first thing he said to me right after the game was, Coach, I tried my hardest. And I said, I know you did. I mean, there's no doubt about it. I'm proud of him for that. But it's a tough way to end it. But it is what it is.
Defensively, Elijah Uribe, that kid is he's something else. He's like running back. But you guys held your own against him. What was different about the defensive game plan on Friday that allowed y'all to do what y'all did against a very good run team like them?
Right.
Because it feels like had y'all played like that against Lacey or Abilene, things might have been a little bit different.
Yeah, I was proud of our defense. I thought they rose to the occasion. I thought they played well. They gave up only 21 points to a good Eastlake team who had been averaging, more than that. And so, like what you said, Uribe was a really good running back. And not only was he a running back, they moved him around to receiver and quarterback and different things. And so he was kind of a handful. But I was proud of our defense, I thought we played pretty good all night. We were able to, pretty much stop him from big playing us the majority of the night. That last little counter run that he got there at the end to have the go-ahead touchdown hurt. We kind of missed some some of the things that we were supposed to do on that play. We didn't do it just right, and he made us pay for it. And so that was disappointing. But overall, I was proud of the defense. Thought they played well, and something to build on. For next year. I mean. Defensively, we talked about it some this morning. Defense is hard to play. The field is wide and long, and offenses are spreading you out. It's difficult to play, and so we're hoping that we can continue to improve and build off what we did here this last game.
Are there any because defensively that seemed like the defense was just Achilles' heel this season. I mean, how's offense can run with some of the best of them. Are there any drastic changes heading into this offseason that you guys witnessed?
No, there's no drastic changes. I mean, we played really good defense around here for a long time, and we played good in spurts this year. We just weren't consistent enough, and so we've got to find a way to be more consistent. And we've talked about it a lot, but we've got to play better on third down, fourth down. We got to prevent big plays. Those are the big things. And we're going to go to work tomorrow on doing that. Our 2022 season is going to start tomorrow at 8 a.m. and we've got a bunch of guys, in there that are ready to get going. And so we're going to get going on that thing tomorrow morning and start working towards 2022. And so we're not going to waste a second or a minute sitting around feeling sorry for ourselves. We're gonna get right back at it and start building for next season. And so you do things like go back through all the films and look at the films and try to evaluate the films and see what you can do better. And so we're certainly going to do that and try to get this 2022 season going here tomorrow morning.
Your first year as a head coach now in the books, are there any particular things you've learned now that you can kind of reflect on a little bit that maybe you didn't know were things that could help you going forward? Like you said, you're starting tomorrow and for next season.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're always learning. I think we're in the business of constantly trying to improve, constantly trying to get better. And, obviously it was my first year and a lot of, obviously in a different role than what I've ever been. And so, obviously there's things that I learned throughout the year that I'll remember moving forward. And I think that's with a first-year coach or a 20-year veteran. I don't think it matters. I think you're constantly learning. You're constantly seeing new situations arise, and you try to, learn from each and every one of those. And it's no different with me. I will, take what I learned this year and try to get better from it, and do everything we can to make our 2022 team better next year.
Aside from Tyler, obviously it was great that he's going to have a full year of play under his belt going into next year. What are some other guys that are coming back that you're just excited to see their growth this off season and before next season?
Yeah, there's a lot of them, and I'm not sure I can sit here and name all of them, but we're excited about our next year's group. Tyler, like you had mentioned, we got a couple running backs that after off season we feel pretty good about. Javion Robinson is one that played on our JV. Tyree Browley was on our varsity, but he didn't play a whole lot, but he was on our varsity and did see some time. We're excited about those guys. Obviously, Darius Floyd's coming back. He was a big part of our offense this year. And then we got Jacob English is back. Kevon Rice is back. So a lot of those guys coming back. Jaden Gibson is coming back, and we got some offensive linemen coming back as well. And then defensively, we were pretty senior heavy defensively. A lot of seniors played defense this year, and so we're going to have to go kind of to the drawing board, look at the depth chart, and I told them this morning when we met. We might ask some of you guys to switch positions. We might ask you to switch from offense to defense or defense to offense, or maybe a different position on offense that you were already playing. And, we do that to try to make our team better. And so, we're going to be looking at all those things and all those different possibilities and going from there.
Record and playoffs aside and everything, are you happy with the way your kids picked up the way that you do things, coming from the way Brett Davis did things, the way they picked up the offense, and the way they picked up defense? Are you happy with where they progressed to?
Yeah. Yeah, we were. I mean, I was, I loved our team this year. They had a great attitude, and they tried to please in every way, and it was a good bunch, good group to be around. And to answer your question, I mean, there wasn't a whole lot of drastic differences, to be honest. I mean, Coach Davis did a great job here for a long time, and we just tried to keep it going. There was a few things that we tweaked and put our thumbprint on, and we'll continue to evaluate and tweak as we go. And like I said earlier, we're constantly trying to get better. We're constantly trying to improve, and every day we wake up, we're trying to get better. And so we're going to continue to do that. But to answer your question, there wasn't really any drastic changes offensively, no drastic changes defensively than what we've done really for the last 12 years that we've been here. Even though we've had some different defensive coordinators, but, my brother was the first one, and then Coach Chester for a while, and now Coach Willis. I mean, the terminology and the scheme over those 12 years have been consistent. The same thing on offense. Really, I've been the coordinator for the whole time that Brent was here, and then this year as well. But there really wasn't drastic differences. It's just we're just constantly trying to improve. We're constantly trying to do the things that our personnel will allow us to do, and we try to do the best we can with what we got, and approach it that way. And so really, to answer your question, I mean, I am proud of our kids. I'm proud of the way that they continue to fight all year, even when things didn't go right for them. They showed back up on Saturday, and ready to attack the next week. And so for that, I'm grateful to those kids for that. Appreciate that. Appreciate their hard work and their dedication to Bobcat football. And, just very thankful for that group of seniors in particular. Man, I hope so. I hope so. We talked a little bit about it this morning. This is a deal, a program around here. That we've had a lot of success, and we're trying to, and we talk a lot about this. We want this to be the best place to play football in the entire state of Texas, and so every day we wake up, that's our goal, is to create an atmosphere for these kids that can make it the best program to play in the entire state. And so they're aware of that. They understand the tradition and the expectations and the things that we've done over the years. And, I know that they're hungry to get back on top of this district in particular. And so I can see them, working extremely hard this offseason to try to get us back there.
I guess one last thing for me is, this district, Coach Davis even really last year hit on how you got to score 40 points a lot of the time to win games.
Yep.
This year I felt like there was a little bit more defense, and our legacy, their offense has been impressive this season. Have you noticed anything that's really changed from any of these teams, or it's constantly evolving?
Right.
But notice much of a difference?
Well, that's a good point. And you do. You got to score in the 30s and 40s to really have a chance to win football games. And I think that was something that we didn't do as well. Especially here late, didn't score enough points to give ourselves a chance to win. A lot of it was turnovers or not scoring in the red zone. Things that are conducive to winning football games. But to answer your question, I felt like our district was pretty good this year, to be honest. I mean, I felt like Abilene High, even though they didn't win their playoff game, I felt like that was the best Abilene High team that we've seen in probably 5 or 6 years. I thought they had a good team. I thought obviously Friendship was much improved, especially offensively. I thought their offense was really good. Odessa High I thought was improved. Thought Permian was just as good as they've been, and I thought Legacy was exceptional this year. So, it's kind of the same coaches and the same schemes that they've been running for the last couple of years, but just to me, I thought those teams were good this year, and so I expect kind of the same thing next year. I expect all those teams to be really good again next year, and so it's up to us to prepare ourselves this offseason to get ready to play them again next year.
Thanks, Coach, for doing this all season.
All right. Thank you, guys. Appreciate y'all.